This team is about more than hockey. It brings people together and brings out their best, from training to cheering to believing. You get out what you put in, both on the ice and in life. There's never just one goal, and there's never just one way, but with an open mind and a balanced lifestyle, it's amazing where you can go. Today we'll look at how the Ottawa Senators Foundation promotes healthy lifestyles and athletic diversity, the programs they support, and the people they inspire to be better athletes, students, and people. These are the game changers.
Growing up, played a lot of different sports. I was really into baseball for a while.
I like baseball. I love watching baseball. I like playing it with my buddies.
I actually threw discus in track and field, and I really enjoyed that. Played, volleyball, basketball, soccer.
Any activities on the beach, football, baseball, anything like that out there is fun.
I met most of my close friends through sports. I met through whether it was hockey, lacrosse, or baseball. Even now with golf, I play a lot of golf in the summer. You meet so many different people through sporting events.
I think it's important to do a couple sport when you're younger. Just be able, it's good for your coordination. Be able to do different stuff.
So often it becomes school, homework, video games, bed, and then you get into you can get into a rut at 8 years old, whether you know it or not.
I've seen it firsthand. They do much better as far as sleeping and attitudes, and their energy levels are just completely different. Kids these days, any positive they can find is a step in the right direction.
With hockey, sometimes you get really locked into one specific type of movement, and it can limit you in other areas. So I think, playing those other sports gives you more of a athletic foundation.
We're competitive in anything we do. If we're playing ping pong, we'll be competitive, and we see that all summer. We train at the field house, we get games of soccer, dodgeball, no matter what it is. Everyone's playing to win. As
an athlete, or anyone who wants to be an athlete, especially a young kid who maybe has aspirations of playing at a higher level, your body's your business. That's someone told me that a while back, and that's something that I really take to heart.
Favorite vegetable? That's a good one. Brussels sprouts, probably.
Brussels sprouts, I think. Just kind of got onto them last few years. Broccoli's another one I always like.
My favorite vegetable? I'm not a picky eater. Honestly, I'll eat anything. I really like carrots. Snack on those all the time, so I'll go carrot.
Carrots. It started when I was younger. I think my mom was saying, it's good for your eyes, it's good for your eyes. So I was just keep crushing them. And obviously, I think even today it's still my favorite.
One Halloween I dressed as a carrot, and my wife was a pineapple. So I was like, hey, I like vegetables, so let's be a vegetable.
I think it's the most important thing in your life. I think even more so than exercise. I think you can maintain a really healthy lifestyle just by eating the right way.
My dad was in a couple of restaurants, so cooked for him too, and kind of learned that way. Just lots of vegetables, and chicken or fish is usually what I eat on a game day.
Lunch is a salad with some chicken or fish in it, and then for dinner is a piece of protein with either brown rice or quinoa, and then a veggie.
I'm I would say borderline obsessive over eating properly.
Eating healthy and staying active isn't a lifestyle reserved for elite athletes. But with 1 in 3 Canadian children considered overweight, it's important to bring this lesson to schools. Chris Schwartz is the Ottawa Senators' strength and conditioning coach. But he also does volunteer presentations, teaching students the importance of nutrition and physical activity.
I don't try to go there and overwhelm them with science. I try to go there and make sure that they have some building blocks in place. I also want them to go home and tell their parents of how excited they were about the whole session. I don't want them boring. I want it high energy, and I want everybody leaving there and getting something out of it. I think everybody wants their child to be in the NHL, right? And we know the percentages of those is less than 1%. It's very difficult. There's one player on our team who probably won't bring his name, but when he got here as a young, developing athlete, he literally did not think he could fit in. He didn't know we were talking about greens and the importance of colors, and he hadn't eaten a lot of vegetables. And that happens, even at this level. He knew he could play hockey, but he didn't know if he could do all the things off the ice to keep him as a professional athlete. He's been on our team for a while now. Very reputable player, very good person, and he had a growth mindset to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try this with a bit of cheese on it. And he's worked his way up, and now he's a really healthy person and developing.
120 pounds sport volleyball, an active athlete requires 2,750 calories a day.
He really just went into depth about what healthy eating can do to make you a better athlete and a better student and really help just focus through and stuff. I was a little oh, I could definitely do better than I am now.
I think it changes your perspective a bit because, to quote some of my classmates, when your health teacher just kind of comes in there, it's yeah, okay, the school board's making us go through this again. But when you actually hear that professional athletes go through this, it changes your perspective and really makes you think, well, maybe I should give it a try.
I think we're here to help foster, I think, certain ideals, but if they're coming to us where they're not moving a lot at home and it's not really it's only phys ed, it's a hard battle to fight. I think it's a partnership. I think they need to learn these things at home for sure, and then I think it needs to be reinforced at school.
You don't have to be playing an actual sport to be active. And we try and show these kids lots of different activities and hoping that they're gonna grab onto one thing or another to have a healthy lifestyle.
We need to take a step back and really look at what opportunities we have as a professional sporting organization using the athletes that we do have that so many kids look up to as role models to make fruits and vegetables cool. To say, hey, for my breakfast I eat bananas and pineapple, or hey, I love green beans and peas, as part of my regular dietary as a performance athlete. So I think that there's a good opportunity for us to do that, and having somebody like Chris Schwartz who really wants to be a leader in this area, I think is going to be a really great learning experience for all of us with tangible, measurable differences.
One thing that drives me crazy is that when we say, well, physical education is going to come last, and we know that when kids are active, if we put a kid on a bike for 5 minutes and he comes back into a classroom, he's much more attentive, that mental thing.
I've learned a lot from Chris. He's been here most of the time. He'd say the same thing, play as many different sports as you can and keep your workouts a little inconsistent in a good way.
So in the summer we don't only work out for hockey, we do different stuff. It would be ping pong or soccer, anything that could work on your coordination can help for sure.
I think you can kind of get stuck in this hockey player rut where you're moving in one direction one way and you're only striding, you're only on skates. But the important thing is remember that first and foremost we're all athletes, and it's always important to kind of keep growing and learning.
Chris Schwartz, the trainer on the team, is a good friend of mine, and we have these discussions all the time. We find it very interesting on, everything is so serious and so competitive these days that they really push one sport all year long, and we don't believe in that. I think every sport brings you different balances.
Being married to lifelong Ottawa Senator Chris Phillips has given Erin a unique perspective on the role of healthy, balanced lifestyles. It has also given her a chance, as a nutritionist, to write a cookbook for kids and apply her knowledge on a high-performing athlete.
Chris, before I was a nutritionist, we'd go to the same restaurant and he'd eat the exact same meal before every game and the exact same meal after every game, and it wasn't the healthiest choices. So we went from meat and potatoes and Caesar salad, sometimes even chocolate cake, and then a 3-hour nap to salmon with quinoa and broccoli, and to 45-minute hour nap before a game, and a lot lighter on his feet and a lot more energy. So I saw, before I even became a parent, I did see the difference with him. It sort of motivated you as a mom to obviously try to do the same for your kids in their athletic careers. I spend a lot of time in the rink with my kids, and I guess it really, I don't know if upset me was the right word, but shocked me watching what parents fed their kids. I think we wrote a cookbook trying to change to empower kids. It's been fun. The kids' feedback is great. We've had huge results. It was a national bestseller. We have Carlson's favorite smoothie in the morning. We did Chris Neal's game time, his whole routine. We did Bobby Ryan's favorite meal, Nikki Felino's pre-game meal. Yeah, it was fun. I tried to write it quite simply so kids could understand it. Broke down proteins, carbs, fueling, sleep, all the things that really are important.
This is such a critically important piece of some of the work that we're doing with these kinds of partners to ensure that, you know, it's not only sports and recreation, but it's healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, so kids can ensure that they're going to have a chance to finish school.
When I go on caf duty and I walk through there's a lot of kids lined up for the pizza poutine in the cafeteria. There's a bunch of kids that don't eat at lunch, which I'm always constantly asking them, did you eat breakfast? Did you eat a snack earlier? Where are you getting your nutrition from?
The one thing when we go into the schools is I want to make sure that the kids are engaged. I want to make sure that they understand the importance of certain things. I want to make sure that they understand there should be colors on their plate. You know, the plate shouldn't look white. I want them to understand that cooking is fun.
I'm going to definitely try to make my meals more colorful, because he mentioned that, you know, most of the nutrients are in foods that have color, and not, to quote him, some of like just the wall behind you that's just one straight gray color.
Well, I could definitely start with trying more foods because I am so picky. I don't like to try new things. So definitely trying different things and expanding what I eat would definitely help.
Outside of schools, the Boys and Girls Club is one of the best partners for the Sens Foundation to reach youth. The same diversity of sport and food education that gets practiced with members of the Ottawa Senators team is encouraged through programs at the Boys and Girls Club.
When I was younger, my mom was always working, so my life was basically here and then go home, then go to school, then come here, then go home, go to school, then come here. So like the Boys and Girls Club was like my world.
The Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa is an amazing place that helps young people really find their potential. We help young people ages 6 to 18 find their path in life, find what they would like to do, and move towards a career in whatever makes them happy. Boys and Girls Club is, for a kid, is just really that safe place that they can come after school, evenings and weekends in the summer, and just gives them an opportunity to take part in activities. They might do arts and crafts, they might do drama, they might do dance, they might make a new CD in our music studio, they might play competitive sports like in our Sens Sports Leadership League.
One of our main priority areas at the Ottawa Senators Foundation is social recreation, and so we have a wonderful partnership with the Ottawa Boys and Girls Club. These are clubhouses that are set up within communities in Ottawa that not necessarily have a lot of financial means.
Although it's amazing to be an athlete and to be able to do so many different things in a single sport, you want to develop athleticism in multi-facets. You want to develop the full athlete. So our goal is that a young person's in the gym and we say, hey, do you want to play volleyball? Everyone raises their hands. If someone says, hey, do you want to go for a walk or for a run? That they feel confident and competent that they can do those things.
You know, I'm trying to make this effort to try to make sure that people understand the importance of play and not always structured. When we stop playing other sports and we stop doing other activities, is we lose things in our brain development. We lose how to be resilient. We lose how to have imagination. We lose how to organize. And again, it's about playing, it's about cooperating, it's about feeling good, it's about being active.
I love sports because it takes my mind off my problems or like school. It's just a way of me like de-stressing myself and not having to worry about other things in my life, and just me and the ball and just having fun with my friends, and that's all. I loved playing sports, all sorts of sports like ball hockey, basketball, soccer. There's so many opportunities here, so I got to do like everything, which was really nice.
So nutrition is a really vital part of our program. All of our days start with a healthy snack or a healthy meal. And what that means is, you know, the young person who's coming from school, we don't know if they've had a great lunch, if they've had a really great breakfast, but we want to ensure when they enter our doors that they're given something to feed their minds and their bodies.
They're very safe spaces for kids to engage in after-school activities, from homework, nutritional classes, and for us, the Senator Sports and Leadership League is a really important piece of what they're doing there. It's about engaging kids in all kinds of recreational activities before school, after school, during the summer months, where typically if they're not engaged in those things, they can kind of get into some trouble.
I think there's a lot to be learned through sport, and time management I think was probably one of the biggest things. My philosophy was always like, the more time you have, the more you waste. I think like you're amazed at what you can handle, and sometimes I feel like sport can be a great avenue to get you to that next level.
With an athlete, you want to teach them how to move efficiently, how to move, can they run forward, can they run backwards? Not necessarily how many chin-ups they can do and how many push-ups they can do. Again, it's not just about being at this elite level, but we hope that everybody can catch with each hand. We hope that everybody learns how to run properly. We hope that everybody learns how to throw properly, and hope everybody can somersault and do those gymnastics. But because those are being pulled from a regular day activity, they're not there as much anymore. I think there's great physical educators. I think there's great principals out there. I don't know if we're empowering them the way that we should be as parents and as administrators. So that's kind of where I think we need to start.
I think if you get a chance to approach kids early, that you can turn their life around more so than anything, and you take the hockey side away from it. There's a human element, and the Sens Foundation is able to touch people on that level.
It's more than just playing the game. It's about being a positive influence.
I feel like there's bigger things in life than just the game. You're a role model, you're a hero for these people, whether you're winning or losing. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.